Hey VC, it's Chad. So it's been a minute. I've been seeing lots of videos of 10 bands that you've seen before. That was a thread started by Brian over at Black Beans and Rice. Um, so I thought I'd give it a go. So first thing I have here is a band that I've seen a lot. It's San Diego's Rocket from the Crypt. And this is probably my favorite record from them, Scream Dracula Scream. And this is one of my favorite times I saw them in March 10th of 2001 at this place in Pittsburgh called the 31st Street Pub. Really tiny place. It was super packed, lots of energy, lots of fun. So there you go. These are in order by year, not necessarily favorites. I just picked 10 things out of my box of tickets. I actually made a video a year or two ago that actually showed some concert tees that I got from certain bands along with the ticket. So I'm not sure when that was specifically, but maybe you can find it. One of my favorite bands, Queens of the Stone Age. This was the first time or second time I saw them. This was in September of 2002 at a really tiny club that's no longer around. And it was for Songs from the Deaf. And this is one of my favorite records of all time. There you go, Queens of the Stone Age. I was going to a lot of shows in the early 2000s, and this was one of my favorite bands at the time. It was the Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. Seen them a bunch of times over the years. This one in particular, this ticket is from the Theater of Living Arts in Philadelphia. I drove out in September of 2003, and the TLA Philly opening for the BRMC was the Warlocks, who I've shown before. So another amazing show at the Club Laga venue that I mentioned earlier in October 22nd, 2003 was Spiritualized. Not exactly sure who else played, but it was a great show. This is the Ladies and Gentlemen, We Are Floating in Space record. First time I've seen this band says October 4th, 2007. It was Boris from Japan with Damon and Naomi. Was at a some weird theater I've never been to ever again. And this is my favorite record from them. It is Boris's Pink record. This has been reissued a few times. The originals on I had the CD originally when it came out. I bought the Japanese version as an import. This is the Southern Lord version of Pink. And there was a nice reissue on Sargent House. I think it was like a 3 LP deluxe set, which I don't have. But I guess Boris is now on Third Man, so I think they're going to be reissuing some of their other records, which is cool with me. So that was Boris. Next one I have here was from the Mr. Small's Theater, September 2009. Not necessarily the first time I've seen them, but one of the times, I'm talking about the Melvins, and this is my favorite from them. This is the Houdini record on AMREP. What can you say? One of the loudest bands. I've seen them at least 5 times, maybe even more. So, after many cancellations, I finally got to see Morrissey on October of 2012, and that was at the Heinz Hall in downtown Pittsburgh. And here's Morrissey's Viva Hate record. I only saw him one other time at the Riot Fest in Chicago. One of my favorite bands, one of my favorite shows of all time was only a few years ago. It was September 3rd, 2016 at the Strathmore, and this was in Washington, D.C. I drove down for this, and it was the Kraftwerk 3D tour. This is the set of glasses you get, the 3D glasses. Really amazing show. Branded things. I actually showed the box set from this tour, which is not a live record. It's basically just a studio compilation box set of kind of the arrangements they did on this tour. So, and to show, I got the Tour de France single. Great song. They actually played that live. So, one of the best concerts I've ever been to was Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. This was actually only in 2017 at the Carnegie Music Hall in Pittsburgh. And right here we have Your Funeral, My Trial. This is a original on Homestead Records. So Nick Cave, hope to see him again sometime. And probably the loudest show I've ever been to. I literally lost my hearing for at least 5 to 7 days after the show because I didn't wear any earplugs like an idiot. It was Godflesh at the Altar Bar. And that was in 2015. And here is their classic industrial metal record, Street Cleaner. And this has been reissued a zillion times on Earache Records out of the UK. Really great band. I have pretty much everything they've done on vinyl, so this is one of my favorites. So there you go. That's 10 bands I've seen with 10 tickets and 10 records. So thanks for watching.